to me. I know we got to do this, but I ain't trying to be here all day.
Yeah, me either. We need a code word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the word? Welcome back to We Need a Code Word with Aisha and Jess. I'm Aisha.
And I'm Jess. And it's been a minute, y'all. How you doing?
It's been a minute. Yeah, I mean, we are new to this podcast thing and we're trying to get our rhythm, right? So, sorry. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. All right, but today's code word is TendeRona.
She's a TendeRona. She's the sweetest little girl.
Yeah, so today we're going to be unpacking the ongoing impact of COVID-19 on couples and families, especially those who have vulnerable members. But before we jump into the episode, let's check in.
Okay. It's been 4 years since the COVID-19 pandemic changed everything. And we are still in the flu and winter virus season. So let's take a trip back. Let's go back to March 2020. March 2020. Okay, so Aisha, what were you doing? Who were you? Were you, boiling orange peels and wiping down your groceries? Like, what was going on?
Yeah, I mean, I did, but you kind of like jumping into the episode. Like, let's check in, right? We're here in what is it? The 9th day of Ramadan, or where are we at?
We checking in. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. You know what we do? Let's check in, because the last time we did an episode, we were talking about small families.
Yeah,
and we were in the middle of navigating a recent a distant elder transition, and so we haven't been back since. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So how was your fast today?
I'm still figuring out what it's gonna be for me.
Yeah.
I'm still talking to God, listening, trying to figure it out. So today was bumpy.
Yeah, I still commend you because you're not Muslim, right? So you're doing this in solidarity with me and Ali, because we have a small little family, and you are doing this because you are a critical part of our family. So yeah, I want to thank you for participating in Ramadan with us. And however you you claim the moment, and your journey this Ramadan, it's for you.
Yeah.
It's absolutely for you.
Well, I appreciate that and the opportunity to get closer to God, and the way you've introduced Islam to me. It's just really beautiful. And so I want to, figure out my journey. So yes, it's mutual. But today was bumpy. So, how are you?
Yeah, today was, my normal thing. It was okay, but I am, getting closer to a transition at work that I'm really, really excited about, and this next frontier for me, this journey, this next chapter of what work looks like. So yeah, I'm getting excited. So that was good. My fast was, it was good. No complaints there, because I fast coming up to Ramadan a couple of days. Yeah, because I wanted to get into the rhythm of it. So that really has been a blessing for me, to allow me to still be able to function at work.
Yeah. You know, I gotta say, last Ramadan, you would come home a little snippy because you'd be hungry. And the last few days, you've just been lovely when you came in the house. So
Yeah, yeah. So, I'm just getting better at this. All right, so back to your question.
yes,
Where was I with this coronavirus thing?
yes,
Yeah,
honey.
I mean,
because you know what? I didn't know you.
Oh, you
So
didn't?
yeah, tell us about
Yeah,
young
yeah.
Aisha. You know,
Young Aisha.
like single, and ready to mingle Aisha. Yes.
Yeah, so definitely, one, we were wiping down the groceries in the early part of the lockdown because you just didn't know, right? And the grocery store was definitely like the club. Like sometimes you want to just get out the house and just be around other people. And I would go to the grocery store because everybody was there hiding out. We didn't need all these groceries. We just wanted to like walk around and get out. So,
That's amazing.
yeah. Yeah. What about you? Were you one of the I know you were wiping down.
Oh,
groceries.
honey.
Oh,
I
know.
was
I know.
Instacarting, wiping down in the house,
Yeah.
out in the park. Well, you know, I had a myomectomy on March 11th. I had my fibroids removed. And there was this thing we heard about called coronavirus, but it wasn't serious yet. And so I had a surgery. And I remember going in and nobody having on masks. And then when I was leaving out, people started to have on masks. It's wild as hell when you think you're going to go back to work after, you leave and then you come out and the world has changed like that. I'm still kind of processing that. Like, yeah. I thought I would be back in the office. I didn't have time to prep for this stuff, for this thing. Anyway.
And we were coming back from Jamaica around that time.
Oh, yeah, you were.
We were in Jamaica for Ali's 16th birthday. And I remember on the plane coming back to the States, people were weird.
Yes,
right?
people were weird.
And this weirdo that was sitting in front of us got onto the plane. Like Ali and I were already in our seats, got onto the plane and sprayed Lysol in the air. And we're like choking and like, what?
Baby, that is wild.
I'm telling you, like, I almost got into a fight with this lady over. I'm like, what are you doing?
We were crazy.
Like,
We were crazy.
Imagine people sitting down,
right?
Just spray Lysol. It was ridiculous.
America was wild as hell.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Also, elephant in the room. We both were in relationships. Yeah, we were other people. Yeah. Wow.
So, the inspiration for today's episode was a article by NPR talking about a wife who was kind of wrestling with her husband's fear of getting COVID again, right? And in this article, she discusses her family's navigation of COVID-19, the challenges, and her husband's heightened fear of being reinfected due to being immunocompromised and his previous severe experience with the virus. So,
and when I read that article, like that was the first time I saw a different story around COVID. One that I had felt for a while, but didn't think that other people would, feel it too. So I'm representing for the immunocompromised girlies, and I've had COVID. I do not have long COVID. I still mask in groups. I keep hand sanitizer close, and I use antiviral nose spray. And yeah, there's a part of me that never fully feels at ease outside in the world. And the woman's story on NPR, it just reminded me that being COVID conscious is a team sport in a world that's actively informing us and feeding this back to normal pipe dream. And this is something I really struggle with. And so when I read this, I was just grateful that she had opened up a new space and way to talk about COVID.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine always being the only person in a mask. Like,
it's wild.
Yeah, like for me, you know, of course, I put on my mask like when I'm with you, you know, so like we go in as like a team.
That's right. That's right, baby.
A team
that's right.
masked up.
Yes.
You know,
it means a lot to me.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes, you know, for me, you know, because I also deal with a bit of social anxiety. So when we're in a room with like a gang of people and we're masked up, like I just get like super hot. and I'm just like, you know, like struggling with the heat and feeling like I can't breathe.
Oh.
But you know, so sometimes I gotta step out, right? If it's like too many people. And then other times we're in these spaces where some of the people are a little strange. And I'm like glad that I'm like excited. Yes. I'm like, oh yeah.
I love this. I had a sidebar. I had a conversation with our friend Sean, who is an amazing photographer, by the way. Sean was saying how she would wear like a mask, like an MF Doom mask to meetings if she could. And I was like, why can't you? And so we started like researching glamorous masks, and I'm kind of into it. Like, yeah, anyway.
Yeah. And it reminds me of like when we went to see Beyonce in New Orleans.
Oh my God.
And there was like a gang.
It was so many people.
Oh my God.
It was so many people. Their bare face just lapping up the air. It was so many. Yeah. I think we were the only people in masks. It was me, you. Did Sahat wear a mask?
I'm not sure. There was just like a handful of us.
I couldn't believe it.
There was a handful of us that had on masks. And I thought the funniest part is when people didn't have on masks and they looked at us and they were like, oh, snap. Y'all are so smart. Like, yeah, you out here, girl. You out here.
This is all true. Oh my God. That was wild. I was so proud to have my Flow mask on. I even tweeted at them. Thank you for the shout out, Flow mask. Okay. So for our first segment, I actually would like to dive deeper into the writer and her husband's story. Her name is Malika. I want to dive deeper into Malika and her husband's story and pull out some of the threads that really resonated with me. So let me give some context. In 2022, Malika and her husband got COVID. They were 7 months pregnant. It was a mild case for her. It was not for him. Malika's husband is immunocompromised, and his doctors warned him that if he got sick again, it may complicate his autoimmune disease. He developed a fear of getting sick again. Their household is still operating like it's 2020. Masking everywhere, not eating at inside restaurants, no movie theaters, and COVID tests before anyone enters their home. Malika says she's torn between wanting to keep her husband safe and healthy and also wanting her old life back.
Yeah, that's rough.
So with that story, when I read it, I was like, it made me pull out like some specific themes and threads. So COVID as a family problem. Actually, before I jump into the threads, let's just take a side step. We need more COVID related or pandemic love songs. and we need more imagery of COVID conscious couples and families just in the world, like buying groceries, like extras. I never see extras with masks on. And I just feel like we need to normalize it and I want to see it in things. So anyway, okay, back to the threads. COVID, like, it's a family problem, and really thinking about the emotional and relational impacts when one partner is maybe vulnerable or immunocompromised. So like that, and then balancing this notion of safety and normalcy. So figuring out like our collective comfort level with certain precautions and just like, and that's just a lot. And so
yeah, I think what is it, Malika?
I've been saying Malika.
Yeah, Malika. Malika's story is a difficult one, and I am grateful for what I feel is balance that we have as we navigate. It's not just right COVID. There's RSV.
Yeah.
There's like all of these other airborne viruses that are the flu season and all of the things. It's just a whole bunch of cooties.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And for me, you can inoculate yourself against this, that, or the other, and then maybe something else will get you. But the precautions in general, I think, are important, especially, when you have loved ones who are immunocompromised, right? Like I go out into the world every day for work.
Yeah.
I would hate to be the reason that I bring something back home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And because of that, I'm conscious of we have a few people at work that are very religious about wearing masks.
That's
like,
dope.
Yeah.
I know it has not been easy for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a woman in community who she always has a mask on no matter what, and I just respect that so much. I just respect it so much. But I am immunocompromised. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2022. Just thinking about those pandemic years. And the disease modifying therapy that I'm on, it depletes my immune system, allegedly. And so it makes me susceptible to, a cold may be more intense for me versus someone else. And so just being really safe. And, I was concerned about what that meant, what that would mean for Aisha's quality of life, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you got to be safe,
Yeah, because I don't even think, I think it would be like extremely difficult to be partnered with someone who was on like the complete opposite spectrum.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I do.
I am by nature resistant to being told what to do. It's something.
That's another episode. So that's part slide B.
But it's something I've always struggled with, in my life. And there was a time where I left, I was in the Air Force Reserves, and I had like 14 years under my belt in the military, and I hung up my boots because I was tired of being forced to get the flu shot. Like I wanted control over my body. And so, so that is like my normal mindset. But, for me, with seeing one, COVID took me down twice, right? And
twice.
Yeah. it was
So you had it once before we met? We had Christmas COVID.
yeah, we had the Christmas
But I
COVID.
never had COVID with you.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, there was yeah, I think I did have COVID before.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. It knocked me out. And
Oh, I didn't know.
yeah,
Why you ain't
so
tell me? See how they do you?
so
It all come out in the podcast.
So yeah, like, I couldn't imagine how an added layer of difficulty that would put onto our relationship if
Ooh.
I, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
was a COVID denier or anything
Oh.
like that.
Okay. I told you. Never mind. That might not be for the podcast.
Oh, uh-oh.
No. Okay. Whatever. I told you about that weird, not even ex, but just like bad decision in my 20s and how I looked him up and he's a COVID denier.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I saved you.
You saved me now. Whoa. Okay. Let's talk a little. Okay. Let's talk about risk assessment. Now, I remember when we first started dating, we talked about that. I was like, tell me what you doing, who you around.
Yeah.
And you had like a C plus B minus. You had a B minus.
That's fair.
Yeah. You were like the first person I like invited over during COVID,
Yeah.
I think. Dang.
Because I was cute.
Yeah. I mean, duh. Anyway, you were B minus, and I was like, ooh, I don't know about this. But we worked it out. What did you think of me as far as my number? Or whatever, like how your risk assessment.
I just knew that it was more intense than I was. However, I just, like before you and I got together, I was in a I was in a relationship with somebody who was, is it OCD, or they were like to the hilt.
Okay.
With
that's a lot.
With the COVID precautions.
Yeah.
So like from that,
I could see that.
To
I was
like,
kind of like
okay. I was like, okay, I could deal with this.
That's funny.
She's a little bit more intense than I am, but I could deal with her.
That's funny. And I understand. Okay. Well, I want to talk a little bit about the anxiety.
Mm.
And I just want to speak to my brothers and sisters and misters and wisters about, about those rooms you're in and you see that one sister with a mask on. I just want to speak to her, and I want y'all to know, we know this. And it's lonely.
Yeah.
It can be, and that's the thing that it still feels lonely, and you fight through wanting to be like everybody else for the sake of your health.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be hard. There are times I've taken my mask off because it just felt like it would be easier on my nervous system. And just, try to be as safe as I can. But even having to make that decision feels hard sometimes,
Yeah.
Because I got to come back home to you, So I just wanted to name that. And other people out there might be dealing with that too. And I'm going to say, let's fight the good fight.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, so let's talk about are we ready for a palate cleanser?
Yes.
Yeah, let's move on from COVID and all of its.
Oh, are we? I would say to anyone who feels like Malika or her husband. Just keep talking and find ways to be able to adjust and adapt as needed, and just be open to that. So yeah, I just wanted to say that.
All right. Time for a palate cleanser.
Yes.
All right. So where do you want to start?
Well, something that's been really lovely to see on the internet is this whole Blacks and NASA thread. And I'm curious because, can I say where you work? No. So where you work, you all know NASA. So is there like a little, y'all like talking shit like, man, they over there with their little Blacks and NASA?
I don't. Okay. I don't think it's like that, but yeah.
Okay. So it started with a young man named Tyrone. I don't know it's a whole thing around him now.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay. Anyway, he posted a picture of him in his suit looking all dapper, and he's at NASA.
Yeah.
And it's just so beautiful because it's this young Black man with locks, and they're like Basquiat-esque, all over the place. Yeah. But he's beautiful, and he's Black as hell, and his name is Tyrone, y'all. It's wild. So it catches on like wildfire because all these other amazing, beautiful multiplicity of colors and shapes and sizes of Blacks are taking pictures at NASA. They're staff pictures, and they look amazing. Yeah. So the internet is buzzing, and then the white power, they start stepping in and da-da-da. So apparently somebody is doing a smear campaign on our beloved Tyrone. What? Yes, and just like that, the aunties are up in an uproar because they're like, y'all not going to take away our baby. He doing positive thing. It's crazy. And he's like, none of it's true. It's a fake account. It's drama.
That's the one thing I hate about the internet.
Man, I hate the internet.
It's just like a cesspool. And like anytime there's like
at high noon, this is like hot cesspool.
It's just like anytime there's like a glimmer of hope. Here comes these like keyboard trolls out of nowhere just trying to
baby. They shut Elmo down. Yes. The trolls. Elmo said something like, how's everybody doing? And everybody started dumping on Elmo. And he's like, here's some therapy. And then people got mad and tried to cancel Elmo.
What?
Yes. It's so many things that people cancel.
This is crazy. But let's get back to Tyrone. Thank you, Tyrone.
Thank you for starting this movement. Yeah. It's really beautiful to see everybody. And I just love us so much. And it just reminds me that we are everywhere. We are everywhere. Yeah. So that's something. I think I talked about Reesa Teesa.
Yeah, last.
Yeah. Her glow up, y'all. She is like, she was at South by Southwest. I read a beautiful.
She was on
Tamara Hall. Buck Charlemagne the God. She did there was an amazing edit on her in the cut. And she had on a Hanifa sweater dress, actually the same color that I have. And I just love that she didn't even use a ring light. Like she was in her car, just like, and that's just, leaning into your gifts. And so it's been beautiful to see that.
That's dope. I mean,
how about you?
Yeah, I think for me, I love a good messy television show, and we discovered what is it called? Love in Translation or something like that. And I haven't watched it in a little bit, but I saw like a commercial on it recently, and I was like, I gotta get back into this thing, right? So this whole show is three men, like three bachelors, right? They're in a house filled with women that talk different languages. Like
It's wild as hell. That sounds wild as hell, don't it?
So they can
It's like
barely
colonialism.
they can barely talk to these women, and they're trying to go out on dates with them and try to make
to poke them and not be seen as the douchebag. How can I poke them and not be seen as a douchebag? That's the whole goal of
That's the premise of the show.
Exactly.
Anyway, I got to get back into it. So yeah, here we are.
So I think this about wraps it up.
Okay, yeah,
the episode
was good.
Thanks for listening, y'all. Glad to be back on the saddle with my cowgirl.
Yeah, so like, subscribe, feel free to share our podcast with your friends and family. Don't keep us a secret, y'all. Thank you again. Take care of yourselves. Peace.